All right, Kyle, we're rolling.
Okay.
Kyle, I'm sure you know that this is the spirit of the dead with Haitian voodoo.
Of
You're not,
course. Yeah, this is the god of death.
and you're not afraid to deal with this spirit?
No. No, I'm not. I've dealt with him before. I've dealt with their god of war. I've dealt with their god of death. Fuck them niggas. Okay, so since we're gonna start out with the Baron, we're gonna use his symbol, and we're gonna draw it in cornmeal. Any kind of cornmeal works. It's an axe. It's sort of it's a attractor. It's almost like it works almost like a magnet for the spirit because their symbol is their very essence. It's very important. I've explained that before. But yeah. So we're gonna start by making his symbol, and you gotta make it like I said. I've seen people use other things, but this is traditional Haitian voodoo. That is traditional Haitian voodoo. Now, there's a lot of ways that I've seen people do this. Some of the ones that are masterful with this kind of art, they do this thing like, like artists. You know, they'll be standing way up here and they're able to get it to look exactly how it's supposed to look. But you don't have to be an artist. You can put it any way. As long as the symbol is there, it's official. Okay. Now, right now we have incense going. The spirits like incense. That's what they like. Different kinds, depending on the spirit, you know, they like different kinds. This is what's called in Haiti a mouchoir. This is this helps to facilitate the possession process. You can put it on your head, you can put it on your arm. It's more traditional on the arm. Because this is barren stuff, everything is black. From the candles to this, to the other mouchoir that I have, everything is black. Okay, the candles are lit. A lot of times there'll be more candles around or whatever, but because of the way that I'm doing this, I'm only using 3 candles, and I got them right here. But it doesn't really matter, because I've seen this done without any candles. I've seen it numerous times actually without any candles. Anyway, so yeah, all right. So bang, you got the symbol drawn. You can't see it too well because it's upside down. I drew it this way. Nevertheless, the spirit sees it. One thing to know about some of the spirits: any spirit that you're gonna summon, he's already gonna know before you summon him that you plan to summon him. It's just like I said, ask any spirit that's summoned, he'll tell you like, oh, he's been aware that you were gonna summon him. Okay, okay, so what you do is have the rum ready, preferably Barbancourt rum, Barbancourt, as they say in Haiti, Barbancourt rum, Jamaican rum or Puerto Rican rum. I have my own type of rum because I think mine's Cuban, but nevertheless, they like Caribbean rums. They like Caribbean rums, and this helps the you know, they call, you know, alcohol spirits. You know what I mean? This helps to also facilitate the possession process. You know what I mean? Spirits like to be in that. Like you spray it when you want a certain spirit to come. You spray this in a certain way, with your mouth. You know, even when the person gets possessed, you spray it on them. You know, you spray them to get them possessed. Okay, so at this stage, after the veve is made, after the candles are lit, after the incense is around, after all the correspondences are matching the Haitian voodoo, which is the colors to the spirit, to the incense, after everything is corresponding, and usually you would dress how in the colors of your spirit also, and then you're ready to begin. Simple as that. They're gonna hear you. They're gonna hear you regardless. Depending on how they answer, will be how they answer. This is best to be done with 3 people. 3 people, because if you're the one who wants to talk to the spirit, you're gonna want to make sure that you up the odds of you not being the one that gets possessed, because that can happen. It happened a couple times when I did ritual summonings of these specific spirits, where the wrong person would get possessed and then he never get his questions answered. Now, while you got it set up, everything is right. You know, you got the symbol, you got the incense, you got the correspondences. Music, they love the music. That really is a big thing that makes them come. And that song is actually a song specifically for Baron Samedi. Okay, so the first step you do, you gotta go through the gates. I would, if I had to see a voodoo spirit, I would burn them. I would do the rite of the burning gates, like I did on my ritual to kill a spirit. But Haitian voodoo people, they like to respectfully go through the gates or whatever like that. You know, Haitian voodoo people, the thing about Haitian voodoo is when it was created by people who were absolutely terrified. I know somebody who is of the bloodline that started Haitian voodoo. His last name is actually Vavin. And he knows deeply about a lot of the intimate things that most Haitians and most voodoo people do not know. Haitian voodoo was created by very desperate people, tortured people who were traumatized deeper than you could imagine. And when they put their system together, they were so desperate that they agreed to things and they began to conform to a manner of occultism that was completely to the benefit of their spirits and not to them. One out of every maybe 100,000 Haitians is really doing well. One out of every probably 500,000 Haitians is rich and wealthy off of the work of the spirits. It's possible to get very rich, very powerful in Haitian voodoo only if you're willing to put the work in. If you're willing to put the work in, if you're willing to bury some people, if you're willing to sacrifice some humans, you can make your way. You can make your way if you don't get caught. But if you're thinking you're gonna have the voodoo spirits do something for you significant, without that, I doubt it. I just would say the probability is very low. If you look at the position of people in Haiti, that's a good example. The places that voodoo spirits go the most, that are known to go the most, like New Orleans, certain parts of West Africa, and Haiti, they all have one thing in common. All these places end up suffering. And that's the way voodoo spirits teach. That's their way. They teach through suffering. They teach through pain. They even though that goes opposite to beings like, say, in Asia, the Buddhist spirits, you know what I mean? Their whole point is, I don't like the suffering. There is a way to evolve. There is a way to ascend without suffering. That's their whole point. But Voodoo spirits are their equal opposite. That's the only way that they teach. That's the only way that they know to teach. Because they're not quite as evolved as some of the other spirits. If you look at the history, even in West Africa, the Yoruba kingdom used to always have the Voodoo kingdom as a vassal state. Because Voodoo spirits even back then, they weren't as strong as the Orisha back then. So it's anyway. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. All right, so the symbols down. You have all the corresponding elements right. You got the music playing. You got the rum ready. And now you want to go through the gates, if you care to go through respectfully, which is basically by saying, Papa Legba, open the gate for me. Open the gate for me, Papa, for me to pass. When I return, I will thank the Lord. I will put on the screen the Haitian way to say it. Even though it doesn't really matter. A lot of times Haitian initiates will argue, oh, the Lord don't like to hear the Creole, but hey, listen, if you go to New Orleans and a lot of other places that don't speak Creole, they call the Lord and they come like as if it was Creole or any other language. There's actually an even more secret language in Haiti they call like langage, and that's not even known. That's only known to the few that deal in the mystical system. It has more of its own the West African language in it than the rest of them. Nevertheless, they're spirits. You know what I mean? They understand English. Okay, so yeah, you say that, you say that, to Legba, you know what I mean? You scream it, you mean it in you, and he usually will let the gate open unless he doesn't like you very much. And then you call the Baron. You call the Baron. There are chants that Haitian initiates have that they use, and they can call him faster or whatever. There's different chants that they could do in Creole, but those are not necessary. It's all the invocation that you choose to use, you can create yourself and it will work. These spirits want to work with people. They're desperate to work with people. So it's not hard to get them to come. There is even a type of beer or liquor that some white boys went and to find some voodoo people, and they got a priest to summon the Baron or the Gady to get them to put a stamp of approval on the beer that they made, that they made it after the Voodoo spirits, and he came for them. And these are like just some kids, you know what I mean, that you know, with some idea to exploit, you know, Haitian spirituality and make some money off it because they knew it was profitable. He didn't want to go through a Haitian market to get that done. No, he said, no, we're going to just, well, I'd rather pay you to summon the Baron. In spite of the fact that that's a very unique culture to Haiti and Haiti alone. Okay, you want to take the liquor at this point. After you call the leg bar and tell his ass to open the gate for you, you know, you call the Baron. Baron Samedi! You know, you can say whatever invocation you want. You know, you could you know, make a little poem. You could just say his name. I see cats that say, they'll just say, you know, Baron Samedi, come to me, come to me, come to me, come to me, and they'll keep saying that, you know, in between the drums and them saying that. It almost puts you, it makes you more susceptible to possession because you're like in a trance state. You know what I mean? But before you even, but we call him first, and then you got to spray in a certain way. You gotta spray like that. If you was to spray in a straight line, say it was to spray like that, that means you want the spirit to pop up in that spot. When you spray the environment like I just sprayed, that shows him that, you know, okay, he's getting his specific ritual area ready for my presence. He's bathing the you know, the atmosphere in elements conducive to spiritual manifestation. And now the person who was to be possessed, this isn't wise. Don't do this. Get into a triangle of manifestation with the symbol, a dangerous Haitian Voodoo spirit inside of it. You never do that. There's certain things you'll see me do that you shouldn't do, but I am not the same. I've been doing this for a long time. I am a professional occultist. I know I wouldn't do it if I didn't know that I could do it. Without getting possessed. Yeah, I mean, especially doing this and everything. It's not what you want to do. Only do this if you're serious about doing it. But anyway, so after you call him, and he's here. He's here. He's aware. He's here. You know, they always know when you're about to do it. But he's no friend of mine. Yeah, I mean, anyway. So it's like, you know, he's not like somebody that I give a shit about. So it's he knows he can't possess me and do what he wants to do. He's tried before though. Her man and his wife, they tried to come in my sanctum before, unannounced, and I had to muscle them out of there aggressively. I don't play games with these guys. But anyway, so that's how you do it though. That's how you do it. This is how you do it. The guy that I told this to on in the Facebook group, he did it by himself, which is why he didn't have a really eventful results, but he said that the spirit did let him know he's here. He played with the candle in a certain way, the atmosphere, the energy. He made him know, like, okay, I do hear you. And I told him, pay attention to your dreams, because that's how he's going to try to communicate with you next. But if he would have had another person there, it would have been, you know, the possession would have been easy to facilitate. Because like I said, Voodoo spirits are really desperate to deal with people. But like I said, that's basically it. This is basically it. You do this, you sit here, you listen to the drum music, you know what I mean? We were taught to, you know, sit down and like, you know, in like what they call pretzel style or whatever, and to, you know, just sit there and, you know, fall out. Some Bazongs smoke weed during it so they get more, you know, in a relaxed state, so that they're easier to possess. And you just sit here and you wait for them to come, and he's gonna come. It might end up dramatic, it might end up regular. It might, you know, like the first time we did it, actually the Baron was the first spirit that we met this way. When me and my we tried to get to a spirit without going through the gates, and he popped up. Not the spirit we called, but he popped up, and he was and he gave us a talking to about not following directions. But when he came, it wasn't dramatic. You know what I mean? I barely knew that my friend was possessed until he started saying things about my past that my man couldn't have known. So you know, but I've seen Azuli Dantor come at people, and as soon as she comes, people scream like maniacs, like really like scream at the top of their lungs and run around and stomp around, and I've seen that with Dantor. I've seen, I've even seen a spirit who he possessed the guy. The guy's eye rolled to the back of his head, and then he broke the glass bottle that was next to him, and he started eating the glass. I've seen strange things happen, so you never know what's really gonna happen. So you just have to be in control. That's why I said you gotta have a weapon. You gotta make sure that you're prepared for anything that may happen or that might not happen when you do it. But this is all it takes, guys. It's all it takes. It's really that simple. It's when we did it in the Bazong, the first time that we called them, I'm putting out the exact rituals in my book too that we did. In the Bazong, she made us, it was 3 of us in her specific cell, her order, and she made us draw a big circle and divide it into 3 sections. It was a regular ritual, but she added this to it, my mambo. She was a Sagwe too, the highest level known, that is. And yeah, she had us make a circle and divide it into three different directions, 3 different pieces, and each of us sat in one piece, and we had to have a white, red, and black candle. Each of us had to have a white, red, and black candle during it, you know what I mean? And it was a lot more to it, but it was very different than, like if you go to a Voodoo ceremony and see him call down a loa, or if you go to a Bokor and see the way that he calls a spirit, it'll be very different. And this is the basics. This is the basics. It's really not, this is enough to get it done by itself. Try it and you let me know. I've done it many times. So this is it. This is all that's to it. After the spirit comes, you want it to leave. Usually they'll leave on there. Usually the Rada, the ones that are supposed to be light, usually they'll leave on their own. But a lot of them don't leave. And there is no measures in Haitian Voodoo taken to make sure they leave. There is no banishing afterwards. There is no burning of certain herbs or whatever to ensure that the spirit leaves. No, they just trust that they leave. And once I developed my clairvoyance, I saw that they don't leave. I saw that they rarely ever leave. When they're told to. They do what they want. You know what I mean? They do what they want. And it's sad, some of the things that I know that goes on. I do a lot of consultations for people all around the world. And one big issue that they're having is these Voodoo spirits taking liberties with people's free will, with their freedom that should never be allowed to go down. There is no referee in real life. There is no referee. There is no body ultimately that's gonna stand in for you if you haven't found an ally or whatever. So when you have spirits like these that take advantage of people, I even know one woman I spoke to recently where the Legba, the one everybody's, oh, he's Rada, he's cool, but she said that he was coming in her dreams raping her. You know what I mean? And I had to help her with that. And that's part of the reason why also I made that video, How to Kill a Voodoo God. You never tolerate anything from these kind of spirits, especially when you know that they're dastardly. So anyway, this is the basic ritual. There's another form that I know of calling them the regular initiate or Bokor way, and then there is the Bazongo way that I could also teach. But the next way I want to teach is the Hoodoo way. It's much more safer than this way. You know what I mean? It's not as safe as the way from the Hermetic way, the way from Old Egypt, but it's a lot safer than this way. And the situation stays under your control. This is it. Holla at me.